Good evening. Good evening. It's Friday.
European
Friday
champion,
is for
so
Dilfs.
I'm not one of the bottle. I think I'm a special one.
I definitely do think I'm a special one. That's why I'm here. I don't. How is everyone this wonderful Friday? How have your weeks been? Did people enjoy the bore fest that was the Europa League final? How has everyone's week been? Lovely to see you all in. And we do have the glorious, the wonderful Blue Lions in. Blue Lions is hoping that Chelsea win to break the hearts of Villa fans worldwide. I assume you want to break the fans of Villa fans worldwide. It's not you just want to break my heart. I'm going to assume that it's a general thing. We have a little bit of Wilco in as well. Lovely to see you, Wilco. How are you doing, my dude? George is in over on YouTube. Hey, George. We've got GNG as well. We've got a little bit of score one more, which is very, very sage advice. We have Rich Sun in as well. Big weekend coming up with the Sunderland Sheffield United game. That's very, very dark. It's a little bit better if I take the hood off. Cool. Yeah. So as you're saying, a little bit nervous, understandably so. It should be a big challenge this weekend. We also have the glorious, the wonderful Zerachuls managed to sneak in after a little bit of bribery, perhaps just a little bit of bribery to the missus. I very, very much appreciate it. So Rich says you want to win because the match is worth £200 million over the next 4 years. That's fair. Also, more chance of keeping our best players for a bit longer, even if we lose them later. They'll have more resale value. That is absolutely fair. My only concern would be it's unfair to judge on recency bias, that is for sure. But seeing what's happened with Luton after arguably going up a bit too early, a bit of a surprise, and then plummeting straight down 2 divisions, there's an element of I do worry for teams that come through the playoffs. I think Sunderland had a brilliant start to the season from what I gathered and kind of wobbled in the middle. But I think your form towards the last few games have been all right. Or am I mistaken there? Now, welcome in as well to Tibbo. Lovely to see you, my dude. Lovely to see you. So score one more. You're watching Moneyball on TV, watching Musterman and playing FM. What else? That sounds wonderful. Apart from the watching Musterman bit. No one likes hearing their own voice. That's understandable. But, I do watch back and I feel very, very uncomfortable when I have to do it. Torpidium, welcome in. Thank you very much for the follow. If you're comfortable chatting, let us know who you're playing with in FM, who you support. Would love to hear from you. We've got Ulems in. We've got Draw in as well. Lovely to see you, gents. I hope you're doing well. I hope you've had a lovely week. Crabmo is in as well. Well, welcome in, sir. Welcome in. Muster Throat Pastilles. Indeed, that does sound like something else. Who knows? So, Rich, your form at the end was dreadful. You lost your final 5 league matches. Okay, I am very, very wrong. But you also absolutely destroyed Bristol City. Absolutely destroyed them. So, Wilco, have you ever done an Alonso tactic? I haven't, no. I've certainly... I like a back 3, and I think there are probably some similarities between some of the tactics that I have done with the playmaking 10 and the more goal-scoring 10 and the really, really aggressive wingbacks, but I haven't done one specifically studging Alonso, no. So Sheffield didn't win a final game in Wembley for a long time. That's a fair point. But is this not the year of upsets? We've had Newcastle win a trophy. We've had Crystal Palace win a trophy. We've had Tottenham win a trophy. So if anyone's going to end their hoodoo at Wembley, I mean, it does feel like this is the year to do it. Welcome in Alfie as well. So you're playing as Hellas Verona, very nice. Doing a journeyman across the 3 leagues out of the big 5. Not played in FM24 yet, but you're Italy, Germany and Spain. Fabulous. Started with Benevento, a fine choice as well. Torpidium is playing with Everton and FM and supporting Everton. So found you through your Moneyball videos for them. Marvellous stuff. Good news. Well, kind of good news. I mean, you can kind of hear it in the voice as it is at the moment, but the throat's been a little bit of a bit of an issue over the last couple of weeks. Well, general fever's been the issue, which has made it difficult to record the next episode, but I am hoping to have it out on Monday. It is just the voiceover elements that need to be done. next episode should be really, really good. We're going to be diving into wage structures and how to work that out across a whole wage. And then episode 5, which will follow, will be looking more into like ranking and understanding where players belong on a worldwide basis. Now, naturally, Crodmo is going to be a fan of that. As a fellow Everton fan, oh no, does that mean there's 2 Everton fans in chat? Oh, I do apologise to everyone else in chat who's going to have to put up with Crodmo until. No, I'm sure you'll be fine. I'm sure you'll be fine. Did you hire him to say that? Quite possibly. You paid with body. Indeed. Which Sheffield United destroyed Bristol City. You beat Coventry in the semi-finals. That's a fair point. I am all over the place. I am blaming illness as much as I possibly can. Oh, I got that wrong. Welcome in, Kwan, as well. Lovely to see you, my dude. Right, so in Discord, I think it was yesterday, I popped a little poll up as to what we're going to do with the AC Milan save, because I played a couple of hours on Monday evening and then had to cut it short because of the voice. And I've got a little bit frustrated about that, so I played an extra session. Off stream, which takes us up to the last 2 games. And I wanted to see whether people would be happy for us to pick up from that spot there or go back to where we were on Monday. And it was unanimous, 100% votes for starting with just 2 games left. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So let's not do what I was going to do. In a moment, we will catch you up on what's happened in those games. There's probably about 10 or so games that have been played and where the state of the save is. But before we do that, Zerachel has redeemed a mystery minigame, so let's go on over and warm up with a standard round of Guess the Player, shall we? So if you haven't been here before, you don't know how Guess the Player works, let me explain. You're going to see 4 players from profiles, from a football player's FM24 profile, one after the other. You'll see the positions they play, their attributes and traits, their coach report, and then the teams that they've played for. Your job is to guess who the player is. The earlier you guess, the more points you get. And as you can see, we've got some guesses coming in. Ignore the picture that is currently there. But we've got some guesses coming in for Tottenham players because Tottenham have just won. And last week, on Monday, I did do a Crystal Palace player. So surely I wouldn't do that again, right? Surely I wouldn't do that again. So let's see what the first clue is. We have ourselves an advanced forward. Is it Brennan Johnson? It is not Brennan Johnson. Is it Mickey van der Ven? We know it's not Van der Ven. We know it's not the goalkeeper striker. We know it's not the goalkeeper or defender. It could be a Tottenham striker. Could it be Richarlison? It's not Richarlison. It's not Shaw. Sadly, it's not Enzo Lafie or Bowen or Tony or Solanke. Hoyland, Son, Tell, Wilson, Isidore, all some fabulous guesses. And I've got one more. So you're watching some of the video on YouTube, found out that the GM of Dodgers in Major League Baseball was doing more Moneyball stuff than Billy Bean. For 10 seasons, they didn't miss the playoffs and won 2 World Series. Indeed. I mean, sabermetrics have been around for a very, very long time. So now the guess is coming in. We've got Xerxes, we've got Elena Kana, we've got Jackson, we've got more Xerxes and a Welbeck. It is none of those players, I can tell you that much. This is what the player looks like. This is a player with sensational off the ball, sensational flair, great agility. But those are his only elite attributes. He's reasonably quick, but not lightning. He can't jump. He is a very, very small boy. But he can pass, he can dribble, he can finish, he does everything reasonably well. So could it be Mark Gui? It is not Mark Gui, I'm afraid. It's not Matheus Cunha either. We've got a guess in for Christopher Nkunku. That's a nice guess. It's not Christopher Nkunku. It's not Leandro Trossard either, unfortunately. So could it be Takefuso Kubo? Is it Takefuso? I should probably not try and guess the first name if I can't remember what it is. But it's not Kubo. It's definitely not Hoyland, unfortunately. No. Sometimes with how Hoyland's been in the air this season, you think he might be 5'8", but he's not. Is it Dybala? I've got another guess for Trossard. Is it Peter Beardsley? I'm not doing a Jordan accent. Or could it be Martinez? Could it be Lautaro Martinez? That's a fine guess. Sadly, it's none of those either. It's none of those either. Do we have any guesses for the right league? We do. We do have at least one guess is a player in the correct league. So Rich has gone for Marmouche. Marmouche is a very, very interesting guess. A fabulous. It's not right. It's not right, but I do like it. I do like it. We are looking for someone who runs with the ball often. So let's move on to the next clue there. Is it Ronaldo? It's not Ronaldo, I'm afraid. Thank you, Grubmo. So we have here a good Serie A player who could still improve. Could become a leading Serie A player, possibly. We had Talisca came in before the reveal of the league. I think same with Mika Beereth as well. Then we've got FTech has come in with Raspadori, as has Zerachul. Ivan Zidane has gone for Lookman. We've got a guess for Retegui. Quadmo's gone for Zola. Alfie's gone for Retegui as well. So we have 2 guesses for Raspadori, 2 guesses for Retegui. We've got some Guaya, we've got some Politano. I can tell you, we have a correct answer. We have a correct answer, and someone has pipped someone else to the post. Let's reveal the clubs, because we're looking for a former Sassuolo striker playing for Napoli, which means FTech D, you have earned yourselves a fabulous 2 points, because it is indeed Giacomo Raspadori. Sensational work there. Sensational. Look at the applause coming through from Jabit, from Zerachul as well. Now, Zerachul, the time difference between those 2 answers coming through was so short, exceptionally close. The applause now coming in from GNG and from Crodmo and from Rich and from Punkasan. Incredible stuff. Well done, sir. Well done to you indeed. Right, shall I catch you guys up with where we are on the save? So we can head on over here. The first point of call we're going to go to. Now, when we left off, we had 2 big games left in the league. We had an away game against Inter and an away game against Lazio. So it makes sense to head straight forward to the game against Inter, where we were shite. There is no 2 ways about it. We mustered 3 shots over the course of the whole game, none on target. I thought we defended okay, but we allowed Belkir in, and that was 1-0. So we lost that. What makes that more sickening was the game beforehand. We just moved ahead of Inter in the league. They dropped a couple of points themselves, and we gave them back top spot. Then we had an away game against Udinese. Udinese had barely any of the ball. Well, no, they had a decent amount of ball. They had barely any chances, but we unfortunately kind of fucked it. Is the technical term. Once again, just before the Udinese game, we had just moved into top spot on the league with Inter having drawn their previous one. All we needed to do from here on out would be win every game and we'd be fine. Udinese, they're a decent team. They're like 7th in the league or something. We took an early lead. We dominated the game. And then this goal gave them the lead. And you don't know how angry I was to concede a lobbed header from the edge of the box. But in the 96th minute, Elena Kano rescued a point. That did drop us back down below into Milan. And once again, we went back ahead of them. We beat Lecce in the next match, a 3-0 win. We missed a penalty. And then we went to Lazio, the other big game, and drew. A 0-0 draw, which was once more, again, a chance for Inter to jump back ahead of us. So that is how the league currently sits. We are 1 point behind Inter with 1 game remaining. We have moved up to the summit 3 times in the last run, only to throw it away immediately. And I think that might be an advantage for us, right? Because evidently we freeze up, we underperform when we're on top of the league. So heading into the last game of the season, maybe we don't want to be top. Or at least that's what I'm trying to convince myself of. So that game is today. We will be heading straight into that one. We are at home against Empoli in 14th. They have won for the first time in a number of games, but it should be a game on paper that we hope to win. Inter are away against Bologna. Bologna in 10th have been very, very inconsistent, but they've been, I'm pretty certain when I looked through, they were winning their home games. No, they were losing their home games, sorry. They were losing their home games and winning their away games. So really, I wanted them to be away for this one. It is very, very much in Inter's control. A draw won't be enough if they lose because they have the better goal difference. Okay, a draw would be enough if Inter somehow lose by like 6 goals, which isn't going to happen. So it's probably beyond us, but we are a lot closer than I thought. We're guaranteed top 2. Fiorentina are 6 points adrift. Lazio just a few points behind them. Juventus look like they will be sneaking into Europe after a bad season. They moved ahead of Udinese even. There we go. But otherwise, it's pretty much par for the course. So Pung asked, good day to you, Mr. Musterman. How are you feeling today? I'm, generally speaking, most of the fever has gone away, but the throat's not been great. And we'll see how it goes. We'll play by ear. We've been consistently inconsistent. Exactly. I mean, we've had some great results here. We won away from home on stream on Monday evening in the round of 16, and then finished the job off with great ease in the second leg. We then drew Manchester United in the quarterfinals, where we won 3-0 again, not a comfortable win. That's actually not true. We weren't great, but we got a penalty in the 88th minute to put us 2-0 up, and then wrapped things up. Now, Theo Hernandez scoring twice does seem a little bit peculiar, especially not even though one of them was a penalty. His second goal in the 93rd minute, that was very, very flattering, was because he was playing as a left winger. We have had a lot of injuries. To the extent where we had to play Hernandez on the left wing. In fact, let's pop through and see. So where did we leave off? We left off in March. I think it was somewhere around the 6th. So from Paolo Benato here all the way up, these are the injuries we've suffered during that period. Notably, Joshua Xerxes been out with a torn groin muscle. He's now back. And we had Leao out with a calf muscle injury as well, which meant that we were very, very thin on attacking players. Sadra asked, do you think that if McTominay gives Napoli the championship tonight, it will hurt United even more than they gave up on him after the week they went through? I mean, I think it's a great story for McTominay on a personal level. I think that it's very, very difficult to judge because they needed to sell. There is the pressure to sell with the PSR constraints. I don't think that him having a good season really makes it fair to apply hindsight. They kind of, their hands were forced a little bit, but it is kind of funny. Hey RJ's in, welcome in, my dude. How's it going? We're doing all right. We're doing it all right. Right, so we beat PSG in the semi-final 1-0 in the first leg. Abdul Fattaru scored something like only his second goal of the season. And we were really good. Look at that, 1.9 XG to 0.39. We thoroughly deserved the result. Away from home, a little bit of a tougher tie, understandably, against a quality side. And we saw beautiful moments. We'll watch it. We'll watch it. Now United have to sell everyone. Exactly. See, he would have been gone one way or the other. So Amadou Onana races through to equalise just before half time. We missed a penalty in the 55th minute, and his name was up there. Andriani has come on to make his first appearance of the season from the youth squad because we have no forwards. And in the 98th minute, in extra time, he sweeps home, and that means that we are into the final of the Champions League. That will be our second game tonight. A very, very, very tense game. So we have a home game against Empoli, and then we're up against Arsenal in the Champions League final. Now, Arsenal were like virtually out of the competition at one point. I'm sure they were like 4-1 down or something, or maybe it was 3-1 down against Inter in the quarterfinals, and then absolutely ran away with it in the second leg. They should be near the top, right? It's not in alphabetical order. Oh, okay. So where are we there? We've got... why am I scrolling? I'm scrolling through the years. That's the problem, because I'm an idiot. Round of 16. There we go. So Arsenal got through on the round of 16. Then in the quarterfinals, yeah, they were 4-1 down in the first leg and then won 5-0 to turn it around, which is sickening. Absolutely sickening. But at the same time, it's against our rivals, so that's all good. Inter sent down to 9 men by the end of the game. Just took it into extra time, and then it was relatively easy from there on in. Just some good games coming up. Coming up. Oh, welcome in, Banjola. Lovely to see you, my dude. How are you? How's your week been? RJ wants them to start by selling Fernandes. That's fair. Rocking the mid and rolling passes to Onana and Maguire. It will be shite. So final is a walkover. They never win anything. I mean, oh, that's a fair point. That is a fair point. Have Arsenal won a Champions League in this save? They still haven't won a Champions League at this point. I assume they've won the Premier League because they usually do in FM. Yes, they've got 2 more Premier Leagues. They're currently managed by Erik ten Hag. They've got a couple of Europa Leagues. Last season's Europa League, in fact. And the Conference League the year before. So they're on for a hat-trick. They won the Conference League, then the Europa League, and now this year they're going for the Champions League. I mean, from a narrative perspective, that does kind of feel quite good for them. Quite good for them, eh? So, as usual in the game engine, Arsenal squad 10 years from now is very similar to today's squad. Naturally. Against Ten Hag, indeed. Ten Hag doesn't lose finals. We'll see. It's quite possible. So let's head on into the game. Most of our players are back now. We do have Leao not quite fully fit. Carmona is kind of there. We've got a lot of players that are tired because they've had to play through a lot of games. But you know, that's what they get paid for, right? So it will be Thior. It will be Menya. Profundi is in the running for player of the season. I don't think he'll get it, but that's great to see. We've got Bove, Beraldo, going with Ruggeri, and then up here we will be going with Fataru, Beneto, and Ilekena. Ilekena has played so many games, so many games. Bless him. He's basically been asking for time, or he's had that rest symbol up for basically all of the last 2 months. Beneto is in the starting lineup, but he's been out injured as well. But he's just a little bit more ahead on fitness than Leao is. We will look to bring on Leao quite a bit, relatively early if we can, so we can get as many minutes into his legs as possible. Bellieri, Gonzalez, there we go.
Oh, you beauty! What a head, son! What a head!
Oh, you beauty! D-boy, welcome in, sir. Welcome in, Raiders. How was the end of the stream? I think I had to dip out about 50 minutes or so ago. So yeah, how was the rest of the Holsworthy stream? If you haven't...
It's not the statistics! You tell me! How do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
Oh, bless his energy as well. 5 months is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, how was the rest of the stream? Lovely to see you, Ziggs, Mr. Teeny, Guja as well. Wonderful. See, you have arrived at a wonderful time. We've played a little bit off stream. And that means that we've come and we've stopped with just 2 games left in the season, ready for a Friday night. We are 1 point behind Inter in our first season with AC Milan. We're now in 2032. We're 1 point behind them. They've got an away game against Bologna. We've got a home game against Empoli. And we'll be following that up with a Champions League final against Arsenal. We haven't, as a manager, we haven't won a trophy in 5 years. We spent time in Germany with Darmstadt. We did get them up into the Bundesliga, but it's been a long drought, so it could be nice. It could be nice. Now, Thibaut, you asked, since you couldn't be the most regular recently, what do you plan to do if you're to win the UCL and Scudetto already? Because this is our first season with AC Milan, we still want to get grips on the team. We want to turn them into the team that we want to be. So there's no plans to move on or anything. We're going to be tearing through that squad. We're probably, even though we're in a good position, I basically want to get rid of most of the squad. Sadrol says there are rumours in reality that Simone Inzaghi is going to play with the second team tonight. Do you think that's a smart move? Or is the fact that the final is only a week away a mistake in rotation? It feels quite bold to rest players for that much. A week's more than enough time to recover, surely. Surely a week's enough time to recover. Yeah, that seems crazy. DMB is in as well. Welcome in, DMB. How you doing, my dude? Lovely to see you. So Hull's WLV have truly cooked today. Beat Chelsea 7-1 in the Champions League. But yeah, I think when I dipped out, you had just turned it around. So they were 1-0 down in the first leg of the Champions League against Chelsea. An 88th minute equaliser, an 89th minute goal to take the lead. Did you score more in that first game, or was it then like a 5-0 win in the second leg? Oh, incredible stuff. Leverkusen are in the mud. Ten Hag as manager and everyone's leaving. That would be incredible. That would be incredible. Welcome in, Great Antoine. How you doing, my dude? How are you doing? Right, here we go. So first leg was the 2-1 comeback. Then we battered them 5-0 at home. There's a little bit of me, D-boy, that was hoping that like after you turned it around so late in the game that like Chelsea collapsed and managed to concede like a further 3 goals before the game ended. Ten Hag is at least pretty much a done deal. That is crazy. That is, I mean, I get it. Look at Man United. If anything, right? Surely what's happened to Man United under Amorim makes Ten Hag look better. So I kind of get him going to a very, very good team. As crazy as that might seem, considering what we've seen week in, week out from him. Cool. Let's say some words to Bove, some words for Tawu, and they won't react. That's understandable. And let's just do a quick little pause here. We're going up to far more highlights, given the importance of the game. I say that, and nothing's going to happen in the game, so we won't see any. Oh, it's going to start with a highlight in our half. Here we go, though. Moving methodically through the lines, Bove to Fatawu. Tommaso Profundi with his glorious hair. Yeah, he's been our best signing, I reckon. Here's the cross to Elena Gainer.
Pass it in the space and he would score Elena Gainer. Cross it to the box and he would score Elena Gainer. Do it by himself and he would score Elena Gainer. Elena Gainer. Pass it in the space and he would score Elena Gainer. Cross it to the box and he would...
Boo. All that for nothing. And okay, yeah, it's absolutely fine. Let's say, am I reading this correctly, or is there a sweet from Denmark called Spunk? That would be amazing. Please tell me that's true. Please tell me that would be true. So Grimaldo off to Spain, Frimpong Wirtz to Liverpool, Tar to Bayern, Hincapi off to... It was always going to happen, wasn't it? Once Xavi leaves, the plundering was going to happen in great numbers. Here's Matt Choi, back to Hume. Hume's creating an angle. Interesting goalkeeping. Straight at Caprile, who just kind of stands there and lets it hit him and go behind for the corner. And here's Marino, edge of the box, Theo with a tackle. Bove comes away with it. Is he going on a one-man mission? No, he plays it to Fatari. Now Bonato, driving forwards into the box, and he's down injured. I did say I wanted to bring on Rafael Leao early. Our hand might be forced. Ah, he's all right. He's all right. You'd imagine it's more salty than sweet. I mean, could you imagine if that was actually the main ingredient? That would be horrendous. Horrendous. Am I sounding very Sean Dyke-esque? I obviously I hear it through my head. I didn't think I sounded that gravelly, but oh dear, that doesn't bode well, does it? Here's Marino, out on the right wing, plays it inside to Matroy, across to Hume. Hume runs away from the box, run away, gets the cross in eventually. Ruggieri, though, with a silly tackle, gets away with it. We clear our lines. Empoli have a chance to recycle, are they? They're going to create something here. So let's demand a little bit more. There's been, what, 4 highlights, and from those 4 highlights, 1 shot that counts. Beraldo, though, to Bonato, back to Beraldo. We're passing it around. No one wants to shoot apart from Profundi. Profundi, though, over the bar. Guglielmi from the throw-in. He's going to send the cross in. Matroy, can he turn? Theo gets a challenge in, and we manage to clear with Fataru. Sant'Agostino over to Dele Monch. Good block from Hazuki. Good block from Hazuki. Pump fake by the lineman, exactly. Ulem's back and more settled now. How are you doing today? I'm okay. I say most of the fever's gone. The throat's not great. We'll see how we go. Matroy stings the fingertips of Caprile. Matroy will take the corner now. It's going to be an outswinger in at that near post. Hasuki gets there first. Hasuki gets there second. This is the problem. I like to make the changes when there's not a highlight. Now with comprehensive, it's just all highlights. Fataru with a shot that was really quite embarrassing there. So I'm seeing Matroy Jarlo with the ball a lot. So we are going to try and just keep it away from him if we can a little bit. Wirtz is going to Bayern, isn't he? Whoever gets Grimaldo is in for a treat, though. Grimaldo's such a good player. So what I've read this week is that the Wirtz Bayern connection looks to have gone a little bit sour, apparently. How much of that is actually true, obviously no idea, but what I've seen seems to suggest that in Germany they think it's more likely he's going to end up at Liverpool. Man City one as well apparently has gone a little bit sour. Mena with a header at the far post, and that's over. But yeah, like, if Wirtz does leave, I hope it's not to Bayern. Bayern have such a history of signing the best players in the leagues away from rivals, and it just feels so sad, really. So I hope that he heads to another league. I'd love him to come to the Premier League, obviously, because then I get to see more of him. Tar to Bayern would be a nice move. I don't mind that as much. Because I feel like Bayern needs centre-backs, right? Kim Min-jae hasn't quite worked out. Upamecano's got an error or two in him per game. It can be.
It's not the statistics. You tell me, how do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
Oh, Punker-san, thank you very much. 2 months, you absolute gentlemen. Hope you fully recover ASAP. I do as well. I'd say it's absolutely fine as long as I'm not talking, which is a slight issue, but you know, I think that anyone that has to put up with me on the day-to-day is quite thankful, really. Right, here comes Del Monash. It's a good block once again. Profundi, another corner though. It's going to be Matroy once more. Is he going to be swinging it in at that near post? He is. Theo heads it clear. They seem to be aiming for the near post, but don't have anyone attacking it, and I'm quite happy to embrace that as much as possible. Right, Ruggieri with a throw to Beraldo. Gets it back. Ruggieri, still interesting cross, kind of poked it in at the far post. We managed to keep hold of it. Bove now across to Ruggieri. Ruggieri fires low. Corby gets down, turns it round the post. BT have a lot to answer for. You've missed far too many streams in the month you've not had internet. It makes me a super sad panda. The good news, Energy, one, lovely to see you, my dude, is that because I've been ill and because I'm very, very slow, you've not missed much. As Fataru. Oh, Fataru. This is why Fataru doesn't play much. He's scored. We've had a real injury crisis over this last 2 months. He's played a lot. He still only has like 2, maybe 3 goals for the season. I think he's only played like 1,200, 1,500 minutes. Might be less, actually. But yeah, he's been a disappointment. That's got to be a penalty, ref. Ref. Bullshit. Tim Basis doesn't want Liverpool to get players that you like, though. That's, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I don't want him going to Liverpool. I don't want Liverpool to get better. I don't want a player who's potentially going to be the best, one of the best in the world there. But also, I'd rather see him at Liverpool than at Real Madrid. I'd like to see him week in, week out. And, you know, if he doesn't, and right, Elena Kane missed the header. Bataru then blazes it over. If only our players could score, that would be nice. I say that, we like the second top scorers in the league. Elena Kane from distance, and that's over. Have we hit the target yet this game? Yes, that Ruggieri shot hit the target. Liverpool must always get better. I'm sorry. Okay, so we made the tweaks. We've certainly benefited since then, but we're not doing a good job in terms of chance quality. So let's see. We're going to tell them that we need to be better. We're going to address this in part with us going up to the 3. We've got Elena Kane. That works better with the players we've got available because Rafael Leao is going to come on. It's that bit there. Rogel. Like 8 players on a yellow card. So we'll make the 2 changes at half time. We'll stick with the marking on Jallo. We will say some things to Hernandez and Leao. I'm expecting you to be good. Let's see how we do in the second half. Fingers crossed. So now Ornstein has tweeted that Wirtz is going to Liverpool. Well, hey, it looks like what I read was right. Well, hey. Straw says, did you know that in the old managers there was a bug that if you clicked on tactical change in the middle of the highlight, you would return there was a sure goal? I don't believe that, Draw. I don't believe that for a moment. No, I didn't know that. Crudmo thinks we all miss Crudmo fan. We all miss the true Crudmo fan, which is energy. It doesn't need to be called Crudmo fan to be Crudmo fan. Here is Bove into Rafael Leao. Now, can Leao... he won't cross it. Here's Bove to Thior. Thior to Elena Kane, a shot blocked. Comes to Mena. He's got plenty of time. Feeds Theo. Gets it back once more. Right, Mena. Theo knows how to cross the ball, right? Yes, that's what we want. Rafael Leao with your head out the far post, and it's over. It's over. You have no authority here, Jackie Weaver. I think Wirtz could join Satan's own legions of the underworld, and it would still be less objectionable than if he joined Liverpool. I prefer he doesn't join Satan's own legions because they don't play in the Premier League. And sure, I could watch the Hell League more. You know, they've got a really, really good TV package. Absolutely worth it. But, you know, without the personal investment in the league, I don't necessarily have as much drive to watch it. Sadly. It's Belgium, Czechia in the Euro under-17s. How's the game going? How far in are we? Here's Rafael Leao. Come on, set it up. Yes, Elena Kane. You're not taking that one away from us.
Passing in the space and he was scoring Elena Kane. Crossing to the box and he was scoring Elena Kane. Do it by himself and he was scoring Elena Kane. Elena Kane. Passing in the space and he was scoring Elena Kane. Crossing to the box and he was scoring Elena Kane. Do it by himself and he was scoring Elena Kane. Elena Kane.
Boom. Okay, well, I might not have been paying attention because of reading chat and stuff, but I haven't seen anything come... anything... no idea what that was. I haven't seen anything come up about the intergame down here. I hope we don't. I want to find out right at the end of the game. I don't want there to be spoilers. All right, Thior to Beraldo. Here's Benato. Benato with a bit of a dribbler. Cool, momentum still very much in our favour. I think we are going to bring on Xerxes in a moment. Here's Bove out to Profundi. Profundi sends the ball in. That's nice. Elenikainen head off the bar. Profundi keeps it alive. Profundi then goes all the way back. Here's Beraldo now. Menia turns inside, finds Theo. Yasuki, come on. Look over there. There we go. Profundi with a cross. It's blocked. It's behind for a corner. Well defended by Fernandes there. So Gav's only concern with Wirtz is where does he fit and who do we get rid of? I mean, like, I get that, but like, he can play in that attacking position. You could potentially see him coming inside off the left, so replacing the inconsistency that you've had with Diaz and Jota and everyone else that's played out on the left potentially. I could see him taking Szoboszlai's place as well. I know Szoboszlai's had a good end to the season, but yeah, I could certainly see him jumping into that spot. Right, Elenikainen is tired. We will take him off. Theo is tired as well, so we're going to bring on Siklic. Siklic, I think, has done well playing as a libero, but not as a ball-winning midfielder, which is something you need to keep a mind on you. Satan's Own Legions, isn't that City? See what you did there. The Hell League is on Dazn, I think, now. It's a tough place to go and get three places. Yeah, but, you know, once you've been to Hell and back, you know, you can pretty much do anything, right? Here's Elenikainen. Can't quite get past his man. Profundi now. Into Bove. Emiru Hasuki. Bit of a loose pass. Chance for Empoli to come away. Have Empoli got a potential shock on here? Here's Marino down the right-hand side. Marino in back to Guglielmi. Elenikainen with the foul and the injury himself. There was a little injury sign. Oh, fuck it. Oh, if he's out for the Champions League final whilst we were waiting to bring him, like the substitution was already lined up. Oh, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Here's Xerxes. Xerxes across to Bove, to Bernatto, Profundi. Profundi feeds Leao, and Leao. Okay, apparently it came off a defender. The Hell League is the Baller League. I don't get it, man. I just don't get the Baller League. So it's 1-0 at 40 minutes. Your new Wonder Kid is playing. Awesome. Jota needs to go. You've got a one-way ticket to hell and back. Something Sabaton sang about it, indeed. Can't wait for the Afterlife final. Big game, Hell versus Heaven, after Hell defeated Purgatory in the semis. Indeed. I mean, Purgatory is just Man United, right? Right, let's see. Last change that we can make. I think it's going to be Bove off. I think I'm bringing on Kari. I've been a little bit underwhelmed with Nico. Sure, I've been pretty unhappy with basically the entire squad, so that doesn't really narrow it down. But I think Nico, he wants to leave. I think we'll probably be trying to get rid of him as quickly as we possibly can. Right, into the last 10 minutes. Rafael Leao plays it across to Xerxes. Xerxes can feed Theo. Theo, touch isn't too heavy. I thought he'd let it go there. Gets the ball back. Sends it in low. Leao. I love the strikers in the box. The strikers that then play it out, despite being in a good spot. Bless you. Right, Bernatto to take the corner. He sends it in. Siklic is the target, but Corvi claims it well. Lovely claim. DM Base is currently away from keyboard, but I fucking love Sabaton. I mean, it's worth coming back just for that. Here's Leao, sends it back in. Menia with the header, and it's over. That Moses up front for Heaven can really make a defence part ways. Oh, I see what you did there. Very nice. Heaven did have to get past. He's not dead until he's warm and dead, though. Fair point. Here's Kari out to Profundi. Profundi tackled. Hume gets it clear into touch. Last 5 minutes or so. It's a highlight. For Empoli in a half. Bellarde to Marino. Hernandez, that's not a penalty. That's okay. However, there is another highlight from this throw-in. Siklic does well to find Kari. We've got a chance now to break. Bernatto, play it out wide to Profundi. He does. Profundi drives forward, sends the ball low. Mendy gets it clear. Victor now to Fernandes. And Empoli are coming forward once again. Hume to Sant'Agostino. Theo does well. sweeps up, back to the keeper, Caprile to Hasuki, out wide to Profundi. Profundi drives forward, Profundi, keep on going my lad, sends it in, Xerxes with the header. It's a little tame, an easy save for Corby. Easy save in the end. We will drop that tempo down. We'll drop the mentality down. We just need to see things out now. See things out, and then I suppose we'll know the result by whatever animation happens at the end of the game. If it just goes to the full-time result, we know we haven't won the league. So here we go. Here is the key moment. Out to Theo. Surely the whistle's about to blow. Surely the whistle's about to blow. It just says it's all over. Inter Milan have won. 1 goal from 2.48 XG. Well done, lads. Well done. Zeratrul's a Sabaton fan as well, especially like the soundtracks they made for Hearts of Iron. I mean, yeah, 100%. 100%. RJ, the worst thing is 1-0. Oh, I missed you saying 2-0. 3-0. Crazy. Temptation on the wing for Hell is quite tricky though. Exactly. I'd be worried about Hell's back 4 horsemen. I mean, actually, no, I'd be fine. I think that I've got a pretty good chance of taking on Famine, and Pestilence. I mean, you'd expect Pestilence probably quite easy to push off the ball. So Bologna, it wasn't close. It was never close. Bologna didn't put up a fight. A 4-0 defeat or a 4-0 win for Inter. But given the topsy-turvy season we've had, I'm delighted we got second. I don't think we were expected to win the league this year, so that's all right. Elena Kane is only out for a couple of days. That's marvellous. So let's get these guys. We are resting them for most of the week. And then we've got Arsenal coming up. St. Peter's a great centre-half for Heaven. Locks it down like a pearly gate. Beautiful. So RJ, second with a team you want to change completely. Not bad. Exactly. I'm so looking forward to getting rid of as many of these players as I possibly can. But they're all on horses. Surely some rule breaking with that. I mean, do you really want to tell the team of Hell that they're breaking rules? Like, I don't think they deal with that particularly well. A vote for Manager of the Year. So David Ospina and Ange Postecoglou are the favourites, which means I'm going to vote for the guy with the 26% win rate. Because I feel like Lecce deserve more credit, you know? It's not me trying to improve my chances of winning the whole thing. Not at all. Yeah, okay, so a challenge for the Serie A title was the objective. We've passed that. That's marvellous. Supporters wanted us to win. Tough shit. Euro squads, not worried about that. Cool, that's fine. So you'll have more players to choose from this time. Exactly, RJ. Hopefully. I'm going to wait until the last game when we'll then go through and look at the players that we've got available to look at. But yeah, we'll actually have... We had something like 300 players scouted in total. Which was particularly harsh. Now, I should explain. Actually, well, let's see what we've got right now. I should explain to those that aren't usually in the stream. I've disabled player search. The way I play is I just rely on players that have been scouted. We have this lovely little list here. We joined Milan at the beginning of this season, and when you take over a new club, that list of players scouted basically resets. So we've had to wait for the whole season to build up a list of players that we could potentially look at and use data to identify. So we've now got a pool of around 870 players, which is underwhelming. I would have hoped to have been above 1,000 at least, but most of them want to join. So we should be able to find some options there. That should hopefully allow us to turn things over a little bit. Hell's back 4 on horses. They're going to give Kanate and Van Dijk horses now. Sheesh. Sequan, after 10 seasons at Augsburg, the project has been successful. Fabulous. Finally delivered a UCL and won their second Bundesliga. Congratulations, sir. Are thinking if to build on it or take on a new project. Haven't managed in England, all FM24. Thinking maybe I should head there. Well, why not do that? Why not I would suggest, like, you want to defend the Champions League. Winning the Champions League once, you know, that could be luck. But doing it again, and then maybe why not leave within that save world, right? Like, then move on into England in the save, potentially. Cool, right, okay. We have a break coming up, literally about 20 seconds away, so I'm gonna pop that off and see you guys in about 3 to 4 minutes, and then we've got a Champions League final. Cool. See you then. Right, we're back. And so before we get to that, Rooney, welcome in, by the way. So no, this version isn't currently available with the player bar at the bottom. That's not even available for Patreons. The current skin that we're using on stream isn't quite what's the politest way of putting it? It's not ready even to release to Patrons. There's a lot of issues with the weird shit that I've gone and done to it. So I'm afraid not. Cool. Also, welcome in, Nick. Lovely to see you, my dude. Hope you're doing well. How's your week been? Now, as you guys have been told before, it's all good and well guessing before I've had a chance to explain to viewers the game. But even if you get one correct, I will undo it. So you're not helping yourself, sadly. Right. Top 10. We've got a mini game redeemed by RJ. It's a very, very simple game. I'm sure you know it yourselves. Otherwise played as potentially tenable. But in a moment, underneath where I am currently, there's going to be a criteria. You've got to guess who are the top 10 footballers that match that criteria. You do need to spell their names correctly, but you can use uppercase letters, lowercase letters, a mixture. If a player has an accent in their name, like one of those grave E's or something funky like that, you can include it. You cannot include it. Both will work absolutely fine. In a few moments, I will be revealing the criteria. Obviously, I don't reveal the criteria until I've explained the rules, because it would be unfair for people to be allowed to guess whilst others don't know necessarily how it works. So here we go. In a few seconds, there you go. Get your guesses in. We are looking for the player with the most appearances alongside Nicolas Anelka in his career, by minutes. So Cromwell's coming in very, very quickly with Malouda, Drogba, Lampard. We've got a guess for John Obi Mikel as well. Another Malouda, a Thierry Henry, a fabulous guess in there, but he's not, unfortunately. Could it be John Terry, Sylvain Distin? We've got Cole, Ashley Cole is in there. Petr Cech, Zerachel going for a double there. Medical cards coming with Mikel. We've got Lampard, Thierry Henry again. We've got Kalou. Someone's picked up on Sean Wright-Phillips. That is a sensational guess there from Zerachel. It is indeed Sean Wright-Phillips. So we've got one remaining, and that is going to fall the way of Jabitz, who picks up on Branislav Ivanovic. That was some sensationally quick work there. It was indeed. So the top 10, Petr Cech, John Terry, Sylvain Distin, Ashley Cole, Florent Malouda, Frank Lampard, John Obi Mikel, Didier Drogba, Sean Wright-Phillips, and Branislav Ivanovic. Fabulous, fabulous work, guys. Right, and then we head on back over here, and we are now up to the final. Here we are against Arsenal. Their key player is a guy named Stephen Brindley. He's a deep-lying playmaker who's quite dribbly for a deep-lying playmaker. He's been playing perhaps as an advanced playmaker, I would perhaps suggest, or certainly in a more attacking capacity. He seems to be pretty decent, scoring ahead above his XG, reasonably creative. Yeah, he looks like an alright player. Bukayo Saka is still there, and he is a very, very creative boy. 15 goals, 19 assists for the season is pretty sensational. Now, Rooney, if you're still in, this is part of the reason why this isn't publicly released, because we can't see any players here. Can't see any players here at all, because I've been trying out some new ideas over on this page using draft mode as an inspiration. But what that means is at the moment, I can't see the squads of any other teams. So there we go. So we'll head on into the game. Let's head on into the game and see how we get on. Elena Kana, he got 3 days rest and he's still not in great condition. What does that mean? I think we are going for as an advanced forward then, potentially. No. We're going to do advanced forward on it. So Diego Carmona is right-footed. I prefer it that way round. Vataru will be on the bench instead of Andriani even. It's 3 strikers that aren't particularly fit though. And the game could go to injury time, to extra time. Because if I'm bringing on Elena Kana in the second half and he's not fully fit, and then it goes into extra time, he's going to be on his knees. So actually, I probably would prefer to start him and bring on someone in the second half. I'm going to bring on Theo as well. I think that's the team we're going to go with. Tarek, welcome in, my dude. Welcome in. Bless you very kindly. Thank you. Yes, over on YouTube, if you're enjoying it, please do consider hitting that like button, or even subscribing if you're a true sadist. It would be very much appreciated. Right, go on, win that trophy. Let's last couple of words to you guys. Theo's going to stay angry. I'm going to remember to unmute for the final song. Let's get it.
We are in Champions League, man.
I hope you all sing along.
Come on.
Right, here we go. So Ennis, from public skinning, I'm retired. Whilst I do share stuff to Patreons of kind of things that I work on as and when, they tend to be very, very specific occasions. So it might be something that only works at a specific resolution or is designed for a specific mode. So there won't be any public releases of the stuff that we've got here, I'm afraid. And Tarek, hopefully the next Moneyball video is going to be Monday. As you can see with the voice, it's been quite difficult to record the talking bits. So I'm hoping that we're going to be able to it's just me, that I'm going to be able to record it over the weekend. Most of the video is done, but having to sync stuff up and all that still needs to happen. Right, here we go. Rafael Leao sends it wide. Profundi heads it on for Carmona. Carmona, can he get in behind Diego Carmona? Diego Carmona. Diego Carmona. Oh, Diego Carmona. Get in, lad. Get in. Right, I mean, there is 88 minutes to defend. Evan Ferguson loses out though, and we're coming away. Here's Rafael Leao, and he's down injured. Please be all right. Tight hammy appeared inspired. Does he have a thingy WhatsApp? There's no orange on his name. We're fine. Here's Cruz. Cruz back to Stanisic. Stanisic returns it to Cruz. Caprile punches it over. Welcome, Matthew. I hope you have a lovely evening at the pub. Yes, hopefully Monday. My dude. Right, Ferguson is the target. It's out to Martinelli. He lets it go for another corner. Arsenal, even under the stewardship of Eric Ten Hag, Arsenal are only interested in set pieces. Martinelli will take it. Sends it in. That was a nice flat delivery. Lots of whip on it. Here's a free kick. Abdikov into the wall. Out for a corner. I assume that's going to be... Okay, it's going to be an in-swinger again. This time it's Saka. He sends it in at that near post area where Ferguson is the target. But Thior gets there, puts it behind for another one. A mad reverb on Chesney Hawks as well. But yeah, I need to undo the desktop audio. Thank you very much. Ferguson is the target. Double audio on the clips buds. Thanks. Yeah, sorry. Desktop audio was on for the Champions League theme, and I forgot to turn it off because I am a professional. The cave version. I mean, you can barely, because that's what my voice. Oh, that would have been beautiful. Because you can barely tell with the voice because it sounds like it's got reverb naturally with the gravel in there. Oh, D-Boy, it's like this era is pretty much every stream. You'd think I've learnt by now. You'd think I'd learn. Usually I forget to turn on the desktop audio for the beginning of the Champions League theme as well, just to double up. Here's Abdikov. It's a lovely ball. Ferguson's in behind. It's a good save from Caprile. Good save. Okay, we have seen quite a few Arsenal highlights. Here's Martinelli sending it in. Thior gets there. Rafael Leao can't get it clear. Martinelli to Hjulman. Hjulman from the edge of the area. That's a relatively easy save for Caprile. Another highlight. Martinelli into Abdikov. Out to Martinelli. He's offside. Okay, that's the kind of highlight I like. That's the kind of highlight I like. Welcome in, Llama. How are you, sir? I hope you are doing well. Now, I mean, you guys are already all if you're not following Llama, I don't know what's going on. But if you're not, go give that heart a tick. He's just started a new save as of earlier on today. And despite being there, I can't remember. It's S-Foul Horn. S-Foul Horn? I think that was how we say it in Austria, in the second division of Austria. Always worth checking in on a Llama stream. Right, here comes Ranieri. He finds Ferguson, Abdikov. Good challenge from Menya. Now Liao, what can he do? He can do a rubbish pass. So, my biggest issue is that I'm not really sure where I've seen Abdikov on the ball quite a bit. I feel like he's the player that we want to target. He has got 10 touches. Nwaneri's got a little bit more. All over the pitch. I think that's what we're going to do. We are going to go in and we're going to work on you. We're also going to work on Human. We'll employ a little bit of the dark arts. Liao and Carmona can split out. That I'm fine with those guys splitting. I think I'm going to do that as well. See if we can just protect the flanks a little bit more. Hopefully we can hold on. Right, here's a highlight, hopefully for us. Hernandez sends it in. Ramsdale punches it. Bove. Oh, Martinelli comes away. Feeds Ferguson. Counter-attack now. Abdikov out to Saka. Oh no, it just was a shit highlight. Abdikov sends it forward. Here's Ranieri. Ranieri to the edge of the box. Zinchenko has a great chance here. He fires it too close to Caprile. Stretches out an arm, pushes it over. Mr. Echo's in as well. Welcome in, sir. Welcome in, Gamajoba. How are you? Blimey, the thinking man's Icelandic second division relegation decider then. Everyone loves a bit of Icelandic second division. Let's be fair. I mean, apart from you, evidently. But what will become of Captain Bryn? That's the important question. Here's Elena Kana. Carmona opened the scoring in the second minute. He tries to send it across. Thior gets there. Bove over the top. Stanisic gives the header behind for a corner. Rafael Leao will take. Our lovely little train of players all attacking from the edge of the box. None of them anywhere near the ball. Ramsdale claims nice and easy. Right, they've got to build up from deep here, surely. They don't. Ramsdale goes long. And we're able to get the ball back nice and easy. Why would you send it long in that situation? Had all the numeric advantage in their own third. Right, Thior to Bove. Bove finds Elena Kana. He could feed Profundi. Is that offside? It is offside. I knew it was coming. A 9.3 out of 10 this evening, Llama. That is a very good evening. How's sunny Bedfordshire? Sunny Bedfordshire is very, very peaceful. Very peaceful. Jambo, you're pretty sure you once bet on the Icelandic second division. Once, but never again. Corrupt as thieves out there in Iceland they are. As Bove stings the fingertips of Ramsdale. Right, Theo will take the corner. See if he finds it. Hasuki off the bar. Oh, Hasuki, that was the moment. Right, I feel like the changes I think have worked okay. They have indeed. Momentum's definitely pretty decent in that regard. Stanisic to Saka. Here's Abdikov. Hjulman now to Saka. Saka's got to get this in. And we do well. Mena gets it clear. Only as far as Zinchenko. To Cruz. Cruz got to play it into Abdikov. That's Abdikov, the player that we said to mark tight and close down often. Was just standing in acres of space. Now Martinelli's in behind. Thankfully he's offside. I might need to set up tell a player to specifically follow Abdikov as well as tell them to tight mark and press. Here's Beraldo out to Theo. Theo now into Menya. All right, Leao now. He's got space down the left. Keep on going, Rafa. Keep on going. Into Beraldo. Bove now. He'll play it to Theo. Bove turns, plays it over the top. Here's Carmona. Carmona sends the cross in. Elena Kane as the target, but Stanisic gets ahead of him, heads it behind for a corner. Captain Bryn will continue to score as many goals now the save has ended as he did in my 2 seasons. That's fair. Oh, bless him. But he had a funky hat. That's all he needs. He can't keep up that consistency. So Mr. Echo asks, what do you think, guys? If you want a transferring save file to another PC, uploading to drive and downloading will work, or USB drive is safer? Both should work absolutely fine. I don't think either inherently comes with any risk. RJ always does USB. Zeratul used OneDrive and did that quite easily. I mean, yeah, like even don't necessarily need to upload it to Drive. You could, well, it depends if you're talking about OneDrive. You could use Google, you could use MediaFile and actually just upload it so that it's hosted forever, and then you've got it backed up. Potentially, you know, if you buy yourselves a new laptop whilst you're out in Czechia, it'll be relatively easy to access. Right, 1-0. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that so far. Momentum did seem to turn back into Arsenal's favour in the later periods. Basically, as soon as I said I think that we're doing all right. We're not going to say that they're doing well because they're not doing well enough. We are going to say that they can be better. Abdikov there is on the right. So that's Beraldo's responsibility. So we can expect Abdikov to get a yellow card pretty soon, I imagine. Elena Kane can't play in attacking midfield spots, but we're going to do that with him anyway. So yeah, that should hopefully be okay. Might just increase the tempo a little. We've narrowly edged the possession battle, not by much, so normally I wouldn't want to push up at that point. Šeško coming on for Ferguson. Here's Martinelli, loses out to Profundi. That's a good way to start the second half. Get the ball back early. You can just FM save to the cloud as well, indeed. Theo's still mad. He's always mad. He's always mad, bless him. Always. He's French. They're always... Exactly. That's the explanation you need. Here he is, though, now, losing out to Stanisic. Hjulmund. We haven't done a very good job of fouling Hjulmund and trying to injure him. Here's one there. Oh, it's a lovely ball. Caprillo, though, reads it. Well done, Caprillo. Sweeper keeper to the rescue. And now here we come away with Carmona, who plays it out to Elena Kane. Elena Kane to Profundi. Get it back. Has he stayed on side? He has. He has. Elena Kane from the angle. Rafael Leao. We've held. Fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks. Oh. Right, Šeško now. Oh. It's the second time we've hit the woodwork in this game. Hernandez comes back, makes a good challenge. Need to tell the angry Theo to calm down. It's the baguettes, they get stuck up there behind. Oh well. Saka with the corner. They've had a lot of corners. They're bound to get a chance from them eventually, and it's going to be Benjamin Šeško with a powerful header. Caprile does get a hand to it, but sadly not enough power on it to get it away. They have made the change with Hjulmund now. On comes Ronald. I'm guessing that's probably going to be something slightly longer than Ronald, but maybe a Ronaldo. Bove. To Profundi. Here's Elena Kane. Elena Kane tries to take on his man. He can't do that role. He can't do that role. And we're going to make a double change. Ruggieri because of the booking. Fataru or Xerxes. Fataru or Xerxes. It's Fataru who's coming on. We knew that Elena Kane wasn't going to play out the game. I think we're better there. No, it is just Ronald. It's just Ronald. He finds Martinelli. He doesn't. Asuki gets there, but it's offside anyway. It's all good. All good. So to see it, Sergio, you totally did not have two whole baguettes up your backside. That's impressive stuff, to be fair. I mean, was that the bribe that you needed to place? Here's Fataru. Fataru to Profundi. Players need to shoot. Players need to shoot every game. Right, Leao, Thutawi, here's Profundi in behind again. Profundi's going to shoot this fucking time, isn't he? Oh, Profundi, you idiot. My word. My word. Bove to Hasuki. Here's Beraldo. Carmona now. Plays to Jerry now. He's back over. Oh, we can't find the pass outside. And we're going to play it now. Saka's tackle hasn't... I can't speak. Jerry forces a save out of Ramsdale. I want to make a change. I want to make changes, but I also don't because we seem to be in the ascendancy. Here's Beraldo. Inside to Theo, to Bove. Bove, back to Suzuki. So you forgot to ask, what phase of the UCL are you watching? Mr. Echo, this is the final. Yeah, so we joined the stream tonight with two major games. The last game of the season in Serie A, which we won, but wasn't enough to win the league, and the Champions League final. And Saka now with a chance. Caprile just saunters over, catches it nice and easy. Here's Bove. Bove into Theo, gets it back, sends it down for Fataru, heads it in. Profundi on the volley, and that's over. Right, we're bringing on Nico here. We're bringing on Siklic. They're nervous. I can't join in this banter or you'll get kicked out again. Yep, indeed, exactly, Crubmo. DMBase, the trouble with AC Milan is they always try to walk it in. Did you see that ludicrous display last night? Exactly. Here's Ruggieri to Menya. Menya now. Come on, go for it, lad. Here's Ruggieri. Inside to Rafael Leao, but finds Carmona. He was offside anyway. That's absolutely fine. On comes Emil Smith-Rowe for Arsenal. Into the last 7 minutes. Bomber free kick. Saka gets the second ball. Saka turns inside to Šeško. Šeško, his shot's deflected. Profundi only clears it to the edge of the X. Nwaneri. Caprile for the second game running lets a shot straight at him come off his feet. Martinelli with the corner. Here we go. Caprile claims it authoritatively. He has to after that last moment. Another free kick. Smith-Rowe onto the roof of the net. Momentum has shifted since we've made those last couple of changes. Here's Ranieri to Martinelli. Martinelli, 3 players around him. None of them make a challenge. Smith-Rowe to Saka. Saka plays it back to Martinelli. Martinelli turns. Profundi gets the challenge in. Plays it to Fataru. Chance for us to come away. Fataru plays it out wide. Carmona grabs it. Keep on running, Ruggieri. Ronaldo to Ruggieri. Ruggieri inside's got to find Carmona. Gets it back again. Ruggieri finds Carmona. That's good. Cut inside. Ruggieri across. Romero can't clear it properly. Nico with the shot straight at Ramsdale. Straight into the arms of Ramsdale. We have 2.5 minutes remaining of 5 minutes injury time. And here's Ranieri down the left. Feeds Martinelli. Nico with a challenge. But Ranieri picks it up. Ranieri from the angle. Caprile fires it over. Pushes it over. Oh, come on. Caprile scares me a lot. Doesn't he just, RJ? Doesn't he just? How many shots have we seen straight at him that he does that with? Rafael gets it clear. It's another corner aimed at Šeško. Ruggieri. 50 seconds left. Fataru's not going to win that, but it only falls as far as Profundi. Profundi sends it into the far post. Carmona can't get there. Patterson behind for a corner. Is this the last chance? Is this the last chance of the game? Are we heading to injury time? Extra time. Rafael Leao will take it. Rafael Leao with that in-swinger. Sends it to the far post. Cleared again. Profundi's there. Gathers it back all the way. That's the end of 90 minutes. I thought that was going to be a... Why is he hovering? There's an Arsenal coach that's sitting on midair. Switch angles. I want to see the Arsenal coach. We're not going to see him again. Am I imagining things? Maybe I'm imagining things. We will put Arsenal where they belong. Silver medal. It doesn't look that way, sadly. Doesn't look that way. We did did improve in the last few moments, but we've saved an extra sub back as well. So that should hopefully do us well. I'm going to say some positive things this time. We are, though, the change is going to be Balieri on for Profundi. The other change, it's between whether we bring off Beraldo or Leao. It's Leao who's coming off for Xerxes. Nwaneri had a lot of the ball. I want us to mark tighter there as well. Beraldo's should be on Smith Rowe. No, he shouldn't be on Smith Rowe. Nwaneri's on the left, isn't he, actually? So Beraldo off on those. It's going to be Nico that we're going to say, hey, grab your man, mark tighter. I'm going to just drop that tempo a little bit. Just punt it, damn it. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. We, to be fair, a shot straight at Ramsdale has a fairly good chance of going in. True. All right, Menia to Siklic. Here's Beraldo. Hasuki to Siklic once more. Siklic is going to go back. This isn't going to be a highlight, isn't it? No. It's been a pretty even game so far. 1-1 seems to be pretty fair. Sure, we've hit the woodwork a couple of times, but I'm not sure we've created enough. Balieri, though. You got a lot of elevation on that. A lot of elevation. Here we go. Beraldo loses out to Ronald. He doesn't lose out to Ronald. Ronald sweeps up. Here's Zinchenko now. Plays it across to Ronald. Into Smith Rowe. The ball over the top. Nwaneri's in behind. That was all right, yeah? Yeah, that was all right. Remember, we've told them to tight mark. This is Nico tight marking Nwaneri. Look at that pass, well onside. But even if it's not Nico's responsibility, the defender just... Oh, that is sad, YMMVA. It is sad indeed. Tell strikers to shoot more often. Sure, Quan, we will. I mean, I don't like them. What shoot more often tends to do is it makes them shoot from the edge of the box, which I really don't like. And our issue has been shooting inside the box, but sure. Right, here we go. Balieri into Nico. We're going backwards, lads. That's not the direction we want to go. We will need to increase the tempo. Yeah, we will. Here's Ranieri now. Nico makes the challenge, but only comes as far as Martinelli. Ronald out to Saka. Ruggieri does well. Beraldo finds Carmona. Carmona now to Ruggieri. Has to come back inside. We can switch play to the right now. Xerxes to Nico. Nico driving forwards. That's nice. Balieri can feed it. He could have played it through to Carmona. Didn't, but he does get it back. Get the cross in, lad. He does, and Patterson gets it clear at the far post. Šeško on the turn. Holds it up well, finds Martinelli. Get out of my club, Nico. Indeed. That's why we need to change the whole team. Exactly, RJ. There is going to be a comeback, guys, reckons Mr. Echo. I like your faith. I like your faith. Going to swap these guys around. Siklic isn't as good as a midfielder as he is when he plays as a libero, but Beraldo's on a yellow card. I don't really want to risk that. So tempo comes back up. Let's see how we go into the second half. Right, Martinelli now. Here we go. It's all right, guys. As you should know by now, no backseating. We're all good. Nico to Fataru. He's going to drive forwards. Finds Balieri out wide. Balieri with the cross. It's behind for a corner. Behind for a corner. What can we do from this? It's going to be Ruggieri to take. Yes, that's wasn't quite good enough. Didn't quite sit up there, unfortunately. But it was the right idea. The right idea, lads. If there's a little bit more zip on it, Nico maybe could have taken it first time. Here's Patterson to Cruz. Where is Selko when we need him? Exactly. Martins is the target, but Hasuki does well. We're coming away with Carmona. He scored in the 2nd minute of the game. So, Lama, you say no backseating, but have you considered changing tactics 6 times? It's a fair point, Lama. A very, very fair point. Right, Xerxes to Fatawu. Fatawu, though, his touch is poor, is offside anyway. Let's fire these guys up into the last few moments. Geraldo's shattered. Carmona's shattered as well. So let's pop back this way round. We'll go with double advance forwards. Need to go back into this and tell you to ease off tackles. We need to go back into this and tell you to pay attention to... They bought Ranieri off. Ranieri was bought off for Martin. I haven't seen Martins get the ball much, so I'm not actually going to do anything there. Not going to play out our defence, which means we are going to distribute. Specifically, please try and aim for Xerxes. And we can counter now as well. We can send the ball forwards earlier, even if we don't have the numerical advantages, which is absolutely fine. Liverpool Moneyball rebuild when? Never. I mean, again, doesn't really make sense to rebuild them after they've just won the league, does it? Here we go. Xerxes with the free kick. Finds Carmona from the edge of the area. Another shot straight at Ramsdale. He parries it out for the corner. Ruggieri sends it in. That highlight ended before the cross was even touched by anyone. Incredible stuff. Xerxes now to Fatawu. Fatawu draws the free kick. He's down. Oh, it's offside. It's offside. And there we go. Last 20 seconds, and it's going to be played out by an injury, which means that the whistle's going to go pretty much immediately afterwards. Ah well. The touch was so embarrassing that it wasn't high. See, there we go. There we go. The injury happened. It stopped playing the Champions League theme. It played the Champions League theme for like 2 seconds. And then when I did the desktop audio thing, it stopped. There we go. So we can watch Arsenal celebrate. They probably edged it just about. An awful piece of defending. We hit the woodwork, but again, we couldn't take our chances, so that's on us. But then that's what I've been complaining about all season, so we will see how things go. There we go. Yeah, pretty even game. Just edged it a little bit there. Oh well. Am I going to be that gracious? No, we shouldn't have even got to extra time. That's what we're going to say there. I think that's reasonable. And it does mean that Arsenal have now done the treble. They won the Conference League in 2030. They won the Europa League in 2031. And then they win the Champions League in 2032. It's a lovely, lovely arc for them. And now could potentially be the beginning of our arc. And I think this is probably a fair reflection on the season as a whole. Leao, minor injury, that's fine. Players are tired. They've had to play through so many games in the last couple of months. So that's absolutely fine as well. We're not going to rest them because there's no more games for the season. That's all right. So as far as it goes, yeah, like we weren't expected to win the Champions. You don't get odds, do you, for the Champions League, sadly. But yeah, it's only 2 years removed. You know, it's not that long ago that they won it. Probably won it with a very similar squad to the one we've got at the moment. So actually, maybe it is a big failure there. Obviously, St. Patrick's Athletics, Caden McCufflin is the player of the tournament. They need to have like a... I don't know what the games are for it. Actually, they might have made the group stage, to be fair. Does it say how many games? A minimum of 4 games played. It surely needs to be more. Yeah, and these players have all played 4 games. So players that actually played a lot. Brian Hill, Bukayo Saka, players of the tournament potentially. Redemption Arc Snarks, exactly, G&G. Exactly. But it's not that. Like I say, it is a shame to miss out on both trophies at the end there, but you know, we didn't expect to win this season. And now we get a chance to finally work through our squad as well. Can we at least rejoice Arteta not being in charge, or is he still at Arsenal? Very true. It's Ten Hag who won. I like how easy you are about losing this game. It ruined my day at least. Just meh. Saka is so overrated in FM, says Mr. Echo. That's a bold take. That's a very bold take. So why MVA? Don't know if this is an annoying question, but how many leagues do you load for your Moneyball saves? So for the... I mean, we can take this. Here, generally what I do is I focus on the big leagues, because that's generally where the best players are going to be. And then countries nearby to where we are. So we started in Finland. So we had Denmark, we had Sweden, we've got Norway. There's a reasonable Finnish diaspora in America. So we had America loaded originally as well. But then when we moved to Germany, we loaded in Switzerland and Portugal and Austria. So we will change as and when we go. But generally focusing on what teams, what countries we're likely to sign players from. As actual, so basically we fire everyone and hire new players. Exactly. Maybe keep the guys with cool hair. That seems fair. What does bald take mean? A bold, Mr. Echo. So it's it's a controversial opinion. Exactly what Quadmo says there. So you can tell I've been working on this recently, because I haven't changed that bit over yet. So we now get a lovely bit there. We can see that Caprile did not do well. Minus 0.08 expected goals conceded, more than he should have done. It wasn't awful, but I spent... I always do this. Where are we? Euro. Let's pop that over to the Euros. So that was a player we spent big on, because obviously we didn't have many players scouted at the beginning of our reign. And he's Italian. 47.5 million euros. That's a waste of money. That is a bad performance for a player where we had very, very limited data. But that is a flop. There is absolutely no doubt about that whatsoever. We'll keep the ones with the funny names too. Exactly. RJ, what level of detail for those leagues? Indeed. Full detail. Always full detail. Because the league that you manage in will always be on full detail. And therefore, if you want to compare players between if you want to compare players in other leagues to your league, they need to be at the same detail level. So Bajic played 90 minutes. His doesn't count at all there. We not really bothered about that. Theo's actually, let's click into players whilst we can. Tackling good, creativity good. Loses the ball a lot, which we expect. Been playing as a wing back or a complete wing back, so that's absolutely fine. Possession 1. I would expect his possession 1 to be higher, because we don't have much of the ball. But because we're playing with a back 3, it's a little bit higher up the pitch. So the fact that he's attempting a lot of pressures, kind of okay. He wants to leave. We're probably going to let him leave because 225k a week is a lot. And if we look at Ruggieri by comparison, Ruggieri's tackle win rate is less. Better figures in terms of expected assists. But very, very similar issue. Again, losing the ball a lot. He does win possession more. He does attempt more pressures and he's on the ball more. Maybe it's okay. Maybe Ruggieri I think is probably fine. If we look at our options on the right, so we should have Tommaso Profundi. Worst tackle win rate of the lot of them, 76% so far. Pressures, possession won. Possession lost is a little bit lower. That's good. Progressive passes seems to be higher. I think generally speaking, like the expected, the goals have been good as well. 5 goals is great. Happy with that. I think that's Profundi is probably our best signing. Balieri still learning to play as a wing back, so was a lot more comfortable when we played with a back 4. He's the least creative of them. Good tackle win rate. Second worst on possession won. Second best on possession lost. But like, he's not on the ball much. 35, like, so him and Theo around 35 passes completed compared to Ruggieri and Profundi, who were sort of around that 43 mark. You know, if they're completing more passes, they're on it more often, they're getting more involved, and that's probably why we saw they were much better in terms of expected assists. Pressures, yeah, Balieri and Profundi are fine, I think. So just for the league or for the cups and stuff too. So I do all senior competitive matches, so for the cups as well, because the data from those games is still going in. When I click on Beraldo here now, this is taking all the games that he's played for the club. So if you have some games at full detail, some games not at full detail, you don't know, you've got no way of distinguishing between the two, so you're kind of all over the place. Mr. Echo, I think many of you know, but Caprile is loaned out to Cagliari. Tonight they're playing the Serie A title decider, and guess what? He is missing the game because of a muscle injury. That's a bowl taker. Interesting. That is interesting. I wonder why that might be. So yeah, let's have a look at our centre backs. Theo has played in midfield and at centre back. I'm going to look at him as a defensive midfielder because he steps in as a libero. And so compared to defence, he's not on the ball as much as I would expect. Like, defenders tend to be on the ball more than midfielders. So if we see here, it's even less. So that's a little bit concerning, but he is safe with it. He is progressive. You know, that's good. He is winning possession. 79% tackle win rate is good. 70% header win rate is good as well. Theo is okay. Nothing worrying. Now, Sitlic is the other player that's been playing that role. See, he's on the ball more. Far more progressive. Pretty much the same in terms of possession loss. So he's gone the ball more, but loses it around the same amount, which is great. Possession one's fine. Tackle win rate is lower. Header win rate is really low. For a guy that's naturally a centre back, that's poor. Yeah, his rating was better when he played as a centre back than when he played as a libero, and when he played as a ball winning midfielder. I think at 22 he's fine, not great but fine. Our regular centre backs now, Beraldo. Towards the end of the season, we played him as that ball winning midfielder, but before that was playing as a ball playing defender. We're going to see things like expected assist count because he's playing higher up the field. Possession one's going to be on the lower side for that reason. Actually, none of this matters. He's on 325k a week. He's gone. Beraldo is the first one out the door. Thior is probably out the door. He's on 300k a week as well. In fact, most of this is moot. Can we see contracts here? Right, Elena Kena, Leao, Gonzalez, Bove, Fataru, Ruggieri, Beraldo, Thior. Hernandez might stay. I mean, we've made a promise to sell him for 11.75 million, but actually, all of these guys will be transfer listed. Caprile might find himself transfer listed. So let's look at the players that we are kind of we're not sure about here. Menya. Our defence got better once Menya was signed, despite losing 6-1 in his first game. His tackle win rate's a little bit on the low side, but his header win rate is on the high side, so that's great. That's all good. On the ball, progressive, doesn't lose it much. Wins possession. That's all marvellous. Happy with Kevin Menya. Xerxes doesn't score. That's something we know. We know that when we didn't sign him to score. We signed him to be kind of that false nine, trequartista, kind of a little bit more on the creative side, and he has been on the creative side, which is good. He hasn't lost the ball much as well. So despite being a creative player, he's doing that okay. He's probably he's fine. Not special, but fine. So has Nico had that bad of a season? He just didn't seem to really do much. He's okay in terms of progressive passes, but I was never seeing him make tackles stick. I was never seeing him create much in the terms of proper chances. We can see here 5 assists from 3,000 minutes isn't particularly great when we were playing with a roaming playmaker. His tackle win rate at 72% is pretty awful. And 375k per week is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Right, Sakari here. Sakari is actually doing pretty well, and I think that now that we're playing with the back three, I think he fits in quite nicely. Creative, scoring goals. Possession lost a bit high, he's losing the ball one time for every 5 passes, but he is pressuring it above average, well, exactly average. 80% tackle win rate's decent. Eamon Kari, 140k per week, might have a future. Demi Royer probably doesn't. 67% tackle win. Yeah, there we go. That's in that. We don't want to keep Royer. Right, okay. Mystery minigame. Shall we head in and play a mystery minigame? And we will go for... because it's normally game number 2. Let's play a round of Only Connect. So for those that haven't been around before and seen this, I'll explain the rules. You're going to see pictures of 4 players, one after the other. They all share some kind of common connection. You've got to work out what that common connection is. The earlier you guess, the more points you get. So if you guess on the first player when you've only seen one player, brilliant. If you guess on the second player, you've only got 2 players as clues at that point, incredible. And then you get 3, and then you get 4, and so forth. Now, on Fridays, sometimes the clues are a little bit more abstract. I am pleased to tell you guys that this is not a traditional Friday only Connect. It's not going to be massive. It's not going to be not football related. So, Serachul, your guess of the first letter in the third name is the first letter of the second stadium in the last league in Poland. I mean, it's a fine guess. And note, their names combined don't spell out Crodmo's fired either. Let's head to the first clue and see if we can work out what's going on. Let's see if anyone knows who the first clue even is. Actually, if people know who the first clue is, there might be a chance that they can get it. So if you do know who it is, do pop it in the chat. Let everyone be on the same page, because it's probably going to be relatively unlikely that you will know who he is, or that everyone will know who he is. Now, RJ has suggested that it is just a dude, and that is true. It is a dude. Oh, Llama has suggested it is Sabri Lamucci, and it does look a lot like Sabri Lamucci, but it isn't. Sadly, it isn't. So Draw is either Draw knows who it is, or is just going for a punt. He's gone for French players who played in Serie A. It is not French players who played in Serie A, I'm afraid. I am willing to give you a clue that this person here is not French, but I'm not going to tell you who it is, because that's part of the challenge of Only Connect. Instead, you just got to remember him in his lovely little suit and tie, and try and work out what might connect him to player number 2. Now, I'm guessing that people will know who player number 2 is. So Kwan, I'm guessing that guess came in just before. We've got commentators. It's not commentators, I'm afraid. So there's Lukaku. It is indeed Lukaku. Kwan's going for Champions League losers. That's a fair guess, but unfortunately, I mean, that's not the connection we're looking for. But the first person might have lost the Champions League. Maybe not. So is that Monchi? It is not Monchi. Is it managed by Conte? Another fine guess. It's not, I'm afraid. Whilst it's not Monchi, what I can tell you is that player, the first player, does now hold the same type of job as Monchi. So you get Mr. Point Blank chance. Indeed. RJ, even in photo, he's playing with his arms. It's got to be the way. The Maestro, who's the first guy? That's the mystery, isn't it, Maestro? No one's been able to identify the first guy, which makes it tricky. But as I said, I think if people know who the first guy is, they might know the connection nice and early. It's always nice to have someone a little bit tricky to start off with, and then we will work it out. Maestro is going for missed open goals. We've got players managed by Mourinho, both fine guesses. Let's see if the next one helps. So the next one is this gentleman here. Do we know who this gentleman here is? Medical Card's going for Jupiler Pro League winners. Sadly, it's not. Sadly, it's not. I don't think this player played in the Jupiler League. Could they have been managed by Capello? They could have been, but they haven't been, I'm afraid. They haven't. And there we go, Mark Roberts. It is indeed Gianluca Mancini. So far, we have Mystery Man in a suit, Romelu Lukaku, and Gianluca Mancini. What on earth could connect those 3 players? What could connect those 3 players? The thing is once we see the final one, you are definitely going to get it. As Aquanmo's going, have they all played for Rome? Sadly, that's not what we're looking for. But that's reasonable with Mancini and with Lukaku, and obviously there's the Capello connection as well, perhaps. Are they all related to their agents? Interesting. They're not all related to their agents, but now I want to look up a list of players who are related to their agents, just because that would be a great round. Is it that they've been managed by Mancini? Sadly, it's not. Maestro reckons that it's going to be Aubameyang last, and they've all played with Mkhitaryan. Well, why don't we see who the last player is? Let's see who the last player is. They haven't all played with Mkhitaryan, I'm afraid. But I do think that player might well have done. So he wasn't sure if it was like agent of their brother. That's nice. That's it. Sadly, it's not. 3 players might have played with Mkhitaryan, but 1 hasn't. I can say that with great certainty. Could Federico Pastorello be the link? Could be, but it's not. It is indeed Luke Shaw. No need for fatism, Crudmo. GNG has suggested own goals in finals. I mean, that would be very topical now, wouldn't it? Poor old Luke Shaw, being the difference maker in what was arguably the worst final I think I've ever seen. And now, Jabbits. says that the first guy is Delphi Gelly. It is indeed Delphi Gelly. And Mark Roberts has said that as well, indeed. Mark Roberts and Jabbit correctly identified Delphi Gelly. And Delphi Gelly also happened to score an own goal in a European final, specifically in the Europa League / UEFA Cup. He did it in 2001, Romelu Lukaku in 2020, Gianluca Mancini in 2023, and Luke Shaw 2 days ago. Now, who the fuck is Delphi Gelly? Delphi Gelly is obviously the director of football for Girona, who used to play for Barcelona. And he played for Alaves in the 2001 UEFA Cup. It was his own goal that won it for Liverpool. Right, and that brings us up in time for a break. So I guess I'll see you guys in about 3-4 minutes.
What a head, son! What a head!
We're back. And we're back. Thank you so much for the raid, Gary. How was your stream, my dude? I hope you had a fabulous time. Yeah, I'm still a little we're getting to the point where the voice is giving out, but that's all right. We don't need to be able to talk. I have my post-it notes nearby. So if we get to a point where I'm just having to chuck things up by the camera, that's how it's going to go. So there will hopefully be plans for another muster draft coming up, hopefully in the relatively near future. Obviously, planning stuff has been put off by all this. So it's been a struggle with AFC Wimbledon. Which season are you in, Gary? When you say it's been a struggle, is it fighting a relegation battle or just not pushing up as high as you'd like so far? Right, so we were having a look through some players. So let's see here. We've got Emiro Hasuki, actually known as Claudio Brignoni. He has been good in ball progression, rubbish at tackling, good at winning headers. So if we consider both tackle 60, like 70% is probably the lowest I'd be happy with. So that is a concern. I think that's meant to be one of his better. And he's not got much aggression. Okay, positioning, bravery. Probably should be better in that regard, but he is still very young, just 21 years old. I think he's generally done okay. I can't think of him making major errors, which is the problem we were having with Beraldo. Beraldo was getting turned really, really easily, finding himself caught out of position. But that is a concern. Maybe that's something we need to look at as well. I certainly wouldn't be looking to sell him, but I'm not sure that he's maybe the right man for us. Right, Nikola Milenkovic, bad signing. You know, we bought him in for like 8 million euros, and it didn't take. It took 18 starts before we dropped him from the first team entirely. Tackle win rate of 63% is absolutely atrocious. Doesn't win possession, doesn't pressure. Headers are on the low side. Again, 70%. Anywhere between 70 to 75 is okay. Above 75 is good. Milenkovic will be transfer listed. That is absolutely for sure. So first, your 5 games, lost 5. Oh dear. All that matters is like you get that reset. Yeah, you finish the session, and next time you play, hopefully it will be a lot better. I'm sure. So DM Base is in season 8 of your current save in Scotland, but between the no money, no youth recruitment, and inability to sign pretty much anybody, it's a bit shit. I mean, Chrono has said it, to be fair. Scottish football for you. It does. You need the carrot at the end of the stick of having some money and being able to sign players after. Like, the struggle is fun, being able to wheel and deal and find those players that you know that can be fun for a finite amount of time. Cool. So let's see. We'll ignore loan players for right now. Diego Carmona obviously scored the goal in the final. That was great. Scored a pretty decent rate, to be fair. 0.51 goals, 0.41 XG. He was dribbling, often played in as either an advanced forward or an inside forward. So that's why his dribbles and creativity are high for a striker. But for a 20-year-old player, I think there is promise there. Don't think he's done enough for us to feel like he's going to be a starter, but reasonable to keep around. Bajic we're selling. That's already been sorted out. Wojciech only played 3 games, 77 minutes. Can't make any judgments there. So yeah, now we're into the weeds. So let's head on over to the squad planner. So yeah, the issue is there's no light at the end of the tunnel. Exactly. We can't sign the players need to progress, nor can we make the money to improve any facilities or anything. Now, the only thing I would say, dear Basis, is why you suggested that. Okay, no, I may have misread your comment, to be fair, but it did sound like you were thinking of starting an entirely new save and going over to Poland. At which point I would contend, why don't you stay within the game world and just decide that it's about the right time to move on somewhere else? Obviously the problem there is you've got to wait for something to come up. It sucks when saves have that. Happened to you in FM24. You took your hometown club up from Division 9, got to League 1, and it just got really hard. Exactly. So what is let's go to the next season. I think this approach, the false 9, allows us to have that diamond element, which I think this is better for us in terms of protecting the wings as well. So I think this is what we're going to work around. So our team will look something like... Do we have any... I think we have someone out on loan. David Fusari is at Napoli. He's at Lazio. He's been okay. 17 goals conceded in 14 games. Does the sweeping stuff quite well. Expected fewer than... Conceded fewer than expected. So Fusari could be the backup potentially next season if we... And maybe as we look to find someone who might replace Caprile. On the right, we were looking at our squad currently being Beraldo and so Hasuki and Milenkovic. Let's see what the deal is with Kovacic. Kovacic has been at Lazio, played 40 games, 84% tackles won, 83% headers won. Right, there we go. So Mitja Kovacic is part of our plans there. Ivica Vaskovic is a left-footed player where we will consider him for other positions. So RJ, pretty realistic for the Scottish League. Exactly that. Kind of fair, but also you want some kind of progress, right? Surely. You've always been more of a single club save player too. That's fair enough. Right, Gary Miller off. No worries. Thank you very much for dropping by, my dear. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Like Sega, you have no idea how much I've missed watching your streams, especially transfer window ones. Oh, welcome in, my dude. Welcome in. You have timed it to perfection. Well, kind of. We have come to the end of the season now. We finished second in the league. We just lost the Champions League final in extra time. But you know, those are the things that we've got. So what about St Johnstone? They're actually in the same division. Like Crudmo says it, go for it. Gotta go for it. That's gotta be worth it. Right, so Hasuki is a right back. Kovacic is a right back. DeFeo is a left back. Hernandez is a wing back. Milenkovic is a shitter. So is Vaskovic a player that could be considered for... No, he can't. He can't pass. Vaskovic is a player we don't consider for anything. Wojciech is described as a libero. Only played 77 minutes. Described as a libero but can't pass. He has got focus on passing. So I don't necessarily feel confident in Wojciech being ready to step up. We obviously want to sell Thior, but we will obviously keep him in here until we can sell him. Semenya Beraldo. That means DeFeo played 570 minutes, couldn't tackle, couldn't header. DeFeo is a player we want to send out on loan. So we want to sell Beraldo, get a backup in for Menya. Right wing back, let's add Balieri to this. I thought Balieri's fine as a backup, but Fundi's been okay as well. Venturelli is on loan at Hellas Verona. Now he may well have been playing in a more defensive capacity because he's not dribbling, he's not creating. Still loses the ball though quite a bit if he's playing defensively. 71% tackle win rate's a bit disappointing. I don't think Venturelli is a player we'll be hanging on to. We'll probably look to sell him as well potentially. So you don't mind the struggle, but we've got a 1K stadium. That is crazy. That is very, very tricky. The only British League side with a J in their name. Really? That's... Oh, right, St Johnstone. Genefeld Swift. Well, now, I mean, DM Basis has proved you wrong. I know you mean in real life. Theo's contract is expiring the season after, so we're looking at next season here, Jabbets. And I think we've got a clause on him. Yeah, we do have a clause on him. There is an argument that there's a lot of interest there, so maybe we trigger the clause and then transfer list him to keep his value a little bit higher. But also, if we trigger the clause, that might mean that he's less likely to want to leave. So we'll see how that plays out. So in midfield, I'm going to consider Kari and Bove. Bove likes to get forwards, doesn't he? He does indeed. So Bove and Kari are that role there. We've got a couple of young players here. Giovanni Pirelli. He can pass. Well, not great defensively. That's not the worst thing. Dictates tempo. Not managing to start many games for our under 18s. That doesn't bode well. So Coluccia has played more games. Is there any likelihood that he can't pass? He's definitely not going to be a consideration. So Bove, we want to sell 325k per week. He wants to leave. We've agreed he can for 75 million. But I'm happy with Kari as an option there, but probably want an improvement here, possibly. Retro Gamer, welcome in, my dude. How are you, sir? How are you? Lovely to see you. Sega, do you have any suggestions if you get bored really quickly with saves? I try to do money more because it's fun, but then I reach a point where all I get are D-rated players and I kind of lose interest in the save. Firstly, ignore the scout ratings, because if you're looking for a performance-based approach, you're going to have a lot of players that aren't rated by your scouts but actually can perform, and that's kind of where some of the fun is. It's about finding those players that you would have otherwise never considered signing. But generally speaking, if you get bored quickly, don't force it. If you find the bit that you enjoy is the bits near the beginning as you're turning over a team, just do that. That's fine. So DM Base is going to go for a wee walk. If you're done by the time I get back, have a good weekend, everyone. Have a fabulous weekend, DM Bassist. I imagine that I will probably not be here by the time back, depending how quick that walk is. If we'll see. Cool. So here we have right, Siklic is there. Beraldo. Okay, Beraldo currently. I prefer Beraldo as a defensive midfielder. Let's be fair with that first. I would consider Nico in this position as well. And we have signed Jens Kajuste. He'll be joining us in July. So that's currently that. So we're looking to sell both of these guys. Kajuste's come in. He is a little bit more attacking in terms of he likes to get forward, but is a ball-winning midfielder. So I think that he can add both a bit of steel and a player who will occasionally help impact the final third and give us a chance to create overloads. I'm happy with Kajuste as a starter, despite being 33 years old. But if we can get both of these players sold, we're going to need reinforcements there as well. So Sega, try to analyse opponents like you do in videos like PAOK or Sampdoria, but I'm not quite successful. Any tips? I mean, like those videos are the tips. It's just take it small steps, look at one or two things, identify what they are, make those adjustments based on that. So if you see that a team is focusing their play down a particular flank or through a specific player, then that's what you want to focus on. Don't try and overcomplicate, because if you overcomplicate, then you're potentially giving your players lots of conflicting instructions. Like, you know, you might ask someone to close down one player but also mark another, and you know, they don't necessarily know whether to come or go, and that can compromise your defensive structure. So yeah, just keep it simple. Break it down into small chunks, or like RJ, just stop playing. So Master Flair, welcome in. New to your content, love the style, inspire me to start a playthrough on my own. Any tips to how the save should be set up in order to get the best experience? So Master Flair, I recommend the Chelsea video, because it does talk about setup. Or the very first, if you head over to the live tab, the very first live one of this series where we start at Mayhem, where I talk about setting up the leagues, making sure that you have full detail. Depending on the power of your league, of your computer, you might want fewer leagues. So what we do here, especially for something like this where I'm on stream, I don't want it to run too slow. So I focus on the leagues that are nearby. So we started in Finland, so we loaded in Denmark and Sweden, Norway. And then we moved to Germany, which meant that we also loaded in like Poland and Czechia and Austria before moving to Italy. So we're making sure that we're looking at leagues that are close to us, that we're likely to sign players from. But we've also got the big leagues in as well, England, France, Spain, so that we've got where the good players are going to end up. We've got them loaded in as well. But you then want to make sure that they're on full detail so that the values are comparable. So RJ's playing Crime Scene Cleaner at the moment. A fun, chill game. A game that's definitely not for psychopaths. Definitely not for psychopaths. Right, Ruggieri, 325k, he's gone. Theo's 225k is reasonable, but he does want to leave if we get a bid, so he might be gone. Vaskovic can't pass, so there's a good chance we need 2 left wing backs. On the right wing, we don't really have any options here. Well, we do. So we've got Fatawu. Fatawu managed to score 3 goals in nearly 2,000 minutes, playing either on the right or as a striker. He's on 325k. He's gone. He's gone. That's fine. Michel Barbieri is left-footed. Only managed to play 12 games on loan at Ascoli in Serie B and got 0 goals, 1 assist. That's not part of our plans. Dorda Antic, right-footed. 7 goals in 1,100 minutes isn't bad. Playing as a striker. Doesn't really fit in with what we want to do in terms of a false 9. But might be okay as an inside forward. Certainly not on the right though. On the left though, sure. Daniele Busa. 6 goals in Serie A in 1,000 minutes is okay as well. Just going as a deep lying forward. Can't dribble, but can pass. Little bit slow. Certainly not going to be on the left, but maybe an emergency option up front. Andrea Origi is playing down in an inactive league. We haven't gone down as far as Serie C. He's not exactly set the world alight, so we're not going to worry too much there. But we do have they're in the senior squad now, aren't they? So DeLucia is left-footed, isn't he? DeLucia played a handful of games, not many. Probably isn't the answer either. So cool. We need lots of players. No one I consider that we're looking to sell for Taru, so no right wingers at the moment. That's RJ, yeah, not at all a game for psychopaths. So you're just a simple janitor, do some extra cleaning for the mafia to pay your daughter's hospital bills. Very, very honest and decent of you. You know, the usual, pack bodies, clean blood, fix broken stuff, nothing special. Axe all the we really are Zeratul. I mean, that said, we need to hope that we've got players that are going to, the clubs that are going to buy him. So Rafael Leao, we want to sell him because of his wages. He's also last year of his contract, coming up to the last year of his contract. Paolo Bonato, 14 goals. He's now 23. He's a little bit older than we expected. Mainly played as an attacking midfielder. Some games up front, some games out on the wing. So if we look there, not very dribbly, but he is creating, he is scoring. I'm really happy with Bonato's contribution this season. I did think he was a little bit younger than that, but definitely a player we can work with. Dorja Antic, as I said, I think we could play him as an inside forward potentially there. Barbieri isn't good enough, that's fine. Diego Carmona has played on the left for us a little bit towards the end of the season. He's not comfortable in that position, but that would be where he fits in this system. Right foot cutting inside. So I think the left wing is fine. We won't be using it. I don't think we'll be using a Bonato can be a trequartista. Carmona or Antich wouldn't be on this side. So we could potentially be looking at trying to sign trequartistas for the right, and we've then used these guys as inside forwards potentially. The mad scientist is in. Welcome in, dude. How are you, sir? I hope you're well. A big weekend coming up. Now, if you guys don't know Mad, he is the genius behind the retro databases that everybody loves. Everybody loves, and I believe we've got a new one coming up this weekend, the 86, 87 database. How are you doing, my dude? How are you doing? Now, you guys should most definitely go and follow him, because I'm guessing once the database is out, we might see you back streaming as well again. Welcome in Abir as well. This skin is not available, I'm afraid, no. I will explain very, very briefly why. It's something that I'm still playing around with. We're doing some cool stuff with things here, which also means that you can't see any players on any other team, which is a little bit of a shame, but you know, that's where we're at. It won't ever be released publicly, but it will be available to Patreons. As with all my private resources, they then become available there. What in the Jeffrey Dahmer is going on? Exactly. Sad we lost the final, so we were sacking most of the squad regardless. It's nothing to do with losing the final, to be fair. He's not just a genius, he's the GOAT. Exactly. And Cromwell, there's another database. Yeah, indeed. And Rich is on the database right now. So indeed, yes, that's a fair point. It has been released on Patreon. So if you want to go on over and get some early access to the 86, 87 database, don't just go and follow Mad Scientist, but pop on over to his Patreon as well. Cool. So up front, for Tawi, we don't want there. Joshua Xerxes, fine. George Elena-Kana is a player I really, really like. I really, really like George Elena-Kana. Look at that. Look at that. That is sensational. 31 goals, 50 games. His best season by far. But he's on 400k per week. And 400k per week, sorry, that don't fly here. So Xerxes currently is our only real false nine here. We could potentially use Bonato in that role, but I don't think he has the physicality to play up front on his own in that role. I wouldn't consider these guys there. If we can't sell Liao, he could certainly play that role. But yeah, so we'd want a striker as well. So realistically, looking at the squad right now, I want a new goalkeeper, a new right centre-back, a new central centre-back, a new left-sided centre-back, a new roaming playmaker, a new Bournemouth-winning midfielder, 2 left wing-backs, 2 right wingers, and another striker. So just 11 players. However, that's going to have to be next stream. That is absolutely definitely going to have to be the next stream, because this is not... Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, we managed longer than 2 hours at least tonight. It's good. Well, hey. Yeah. Oh, slight improvement. That's more than we managed in the last couple of times. Oh god, that yeah. You say it's fine. I'm not worried about its audibility. It's how much the throat hurts right now. Cool. Okay. So, YouTube, thank you very much. I'm going to end the stream now over on YouTube. On